How's it going? It's Tuesday. I'm David. You're James. Let us know if now you can see us. Apparently before you couldn't see us.
Yeah.
You could hear us, but we weren't actually on the screen. I'll keep watching my little stream here that I'm watching.
I think it was because on the Coco Split it wasn't updating for some strange reason. So
yeah, we're on there.
Okay.
We're on there. Okay. All right. All right, cool. So this last weekend was SoCal Regionals 2014. That's why we didn't do a show yesterday, because we were still tired.
Yes.
But it was an awesome event. I'm really happy that I was there. A lot of people were there.
Dude, it was amazing.
There was something like 900 registrants, although that was, obviously some of those people registered multiple times.
But Vi said something about close to it's like 1,500 to 2,000 people in the room.
Actual attendance.
Yeah. So
that's pretty crazy. Yeah, a lot of people were there just to hang, as you know, happens at a lot of majors. But it was a really, really good tournament. I thought that the games went well. Before we talk about the games, what was your impression about the tournament overall?
I thought it went really, really good. I mean, the one thing that's really hard for a lot of people to notice is the level of production value that these guys are doing. Yeah, there were technical glitches here and there every once in a while. That's just going to happen, obviously, right? Technical glitches cannot be avoided, I'm telling you. But
sure.
What they do now, like every year Level Up keeps trying to do new things and they keep trying to step things up. Like I thought it was really cool that they actually had the floor cam with the guy roaming, when they had Gutex and Mike Ross roaming around the floor and stuff like that. And if you saw the video that David put up on the UltraChenTV YouTube, you could see the level of the kind of equipment that they have and stuff like that. Yeah.
It was really nuts. They had a TriCaster, whatever that means. Apparently that's something
gigantic
fancy.
TriCaster is basically the super fancy, real expensive version of Cam Twist here and stuff like that. Kitty is
your cat. Not eating my food. It's my food.
Exactly. Here, give me the cat. I'll take the cat.
It's my food. Yeah, it was a really cool setup that they had. I liked those little interviews. That they had every now and then. I think that's cool. There were fewer interviews than last year, which was probably good. Some of the interviews that were done last year were good. I liked them, but they did kind of interrupt the pace of it sometimes.
Right.
Although that said, I know there were significant downtimes at times. But I don't know. That's how it goes. It was cool because people I know were selling stuff there, and I bought stuff. And, lots of my friends were there, and we hung out. And it was cool for us, too, because we weren't doing most of the Marvel commentary.
Yeah.
That was Genesis and Ringe, so we actually had time to hang out in a way that we usually don't. I actually went to lunch with people.
I know, right? We actually had a chance to go and eat and stuff.
Yeah, I had a beer with people during the day.
Yeah.
That never happens.
And seriously, shout outs to Ringe and Genesis, because this is the first time that they've done a full 3 days in a row, lots of commentary, and afterwards they were just holy crap, you get tired doing this. It's exhausting. And it
is pretty exhausting, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
The tournaments themselves, the games themselves, I thought they were all really good.
Dude, how many games were there? 20?
20 or something.
20
I don't know.
Whatever, like that, yeah.
I don't know. I guess we can't really talk about all of them, to be honest, but we can talk about the major ones, I suppose.
Sure, yeah.
Start just with Street Fighter.
Yeah, let's go.
Why not?
Let's go for it.
There were a couple of a few imports from East Asia, from Japan and from Korea and from Taiwan.
Yes.
And there were people from all over North America.
Yes. So we had players from Canada and Mexico.
And East Coast of the U.S., Midwest.
Did we have any Europeans coming out for this?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
Not as far as I know, but. Okay. The North American continent was very well represented. So first place was K-Brad. It's K-Brad Cammy. He won the Wednesday Night Fights pre-SCR tournament too. So that almost never happens.
Yeah.
That the pre-SCR tournaments
win. Guy win. Yeah, exactly.
Super rare.
Yeah.
So but he did it.
Yeah, he did super well. You probably heard us talking about it on stream a lot. That it felt like K-Brad, a couple of years ago was just kind of, a flowchart Cammy, and that was good enough in a lot of situations. But in the last 2 years, the amount of advancement that his game has gotten is very noticeable, and so he absolutely deserved that victory. That was really cool.
I fully agree. I thought he was the best that week. Before we talk about the rest, just go through the top 8. Infiltration, second place with Akuma, Chun-Li, and Oni. Then third place was WoW with Oni. Then fourth, Snake Eyes, Zangief, a little bit of Oni. Knuckle-Dew, Guile, Jace the Ace with Viper, those are 5th place. Tied for 7th were XSK Samurai with Ryu, and Iperu with El Fuerte. Then just outside of that were Filipino Man Rose, Angel Chris, Ken Sagat, Ricky Ortiz Rufus, Justin Wong Rufus, Hung B, T-Hawk, Huda Man Honda, PR Rog, Balrog, and Kino Balrog. And then SRK actually has a lot of results for this game, which is cool.
Yeah. But I just got to say, man, Justin and Ricky have got to stop using Rufus. At least until Ultra comes out.
Yeah. That would probably be better.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. Like, the longer and longer this game goes, the fact that Justin and Ricky keep losing with Rufus, to me, is now starting to make me believe that Rufus is actually, like, a bad character in this game.
He's not
bad. And, of course, we said this to Mike Ross, and he just wanted to kill us, right? So
yeah, I believe that he is about halfway through the cast, I would say. Maybe he's, like, on the lower half.
Yeah.
But, like, at the very top of that half.
Yeah,
something like that.
For sure.
Maybe I honestly, at the absolute highest that I can imagine him being is bottom of the top half.
Right.
He's not like some high tier character. But anyway, the main story was probably Chun-Li, I would say.
Yeah.
Infiltration used Chun a bunch in top 8. Actually, mostly Chun in top 8. He used Chun. Let's get the old match log out here. He used Chun against Oni, if you recall, which was WoW. I keep mixing up WoW and Oni as if like...
Dude, I do that with GamerB. I always call Adon GamerB for some strange reason. I don't know why, so...
Yeah. Infiltration used Oni against Zangief, which, makes sense, I suppose. That's probably the best character he plays against Zangief. Either that or Chun. It's probably one of those two.
Right.
And then in Losers Finals, Infiltration played Chun against WoW's Oni. And then in Grand Finals, he played Chun, perhaps most surprisingly, against K-Brad's Cammy. And it was a 3-0 reset at the start.
Yep.
And then 3-2, K-Brad finally won. So it went the full distance.
Yeah. Well, for the last game.
The last set.
Yeah. So, look, I talked about it during commentary. I really honestly think that Chun-Li's pokes, like, destroy Cammy's pokes. Like, I think her footsie game just so far outweighs Cammy's.
Well, clearly, yeah.
But
her footsie game does.
Cammy just needs to get in one time
right.
and dead, right? Which is pretty much what happened most of the time.
Pretty much,
especially off the back throw. K-Brad had the safe jump set up on the EX bird kick. There wasn't not much. Although every time he did EX bird kick, like K-Brad barely took advantage of it. Like if you're gonna jump and do that setup, one time he did it and just did like low forward drill. And he had Ultra all ready to go. Like, you just block it in Ultra right away, right? So, you have to be aware of that. But, hey, he still won it, so it didn't really matter in the end, right? So.
But yeah, I thought it was a really interesting and unexpected pick. Apparently, K-Brad said that they played that match a bunch over in Germany when they were doing ESGN.
Yeah.
And that K-Brad really didn't like playing against Infiltration's Chun, and I guess Infiltration remembered that.
Well, I will reveal one thing. I looked at afterwards. Infiltration made some joke about Chun-Li to me or whatever that, and I looked at him and his English is getting better, by the way.
That's true.
And I was just like, hey, so why did you pick Chun, right? Like Chun's not great against Cammy, right? And he just looked at me and went, hype.
What?
That's what he said to me.
Is he trying? He's a fan favorite now. Is that like
I
his
guess
goal?
I don't know. I guess he just wants to do what he thinks is cool. I mean, he said that about Hakan when he picked him against PR Rod. He was like, I thought it would be people would get excited about that, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he.
All right. I mean, it's really cool that in the last couple of years, Infiltration has gone from being kind of tough to talk to. I mean, not just because he didn't speak English, but because. He just kind of didn't put himself in those situations very often where there was a hangout, even if he had Laugh translating for him or something. But and certainly when he was hanging out at tournaments, when he was in the crowd, he was mostly not very into it. At least physically speaking, he wasn't demonstrably into it. But
now there's that animated...
Totally into it now.
Yeah, there's that animated gif of him with the little Virgil thing from the Crowd Monster Pop, right?
Yeah.
This thing right here. He had the little Virgil stick. He's caught on wires.
Yeah, this thing right there. Yeah, so he's definitely into it, which is really cool to see. I really like to see that he's opened up like that. Okay, so other than Chun-Li, what would you say was, main point to take away from SF4 top 8?
I mean, from top 8, I mean, just K-Brad, really, just how much better he's getting and how stronger he's getting.
Okay.
I mean, at this point in time, this is when you start the talks of best cami in the world, because, like, who would compete with him at this point?
Probably Alioun.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, it's just like Alioun just hasn't had the success that K-Brad has.
Poor Alioun, man. When it comes to, like, EVO and Capcom Cup, he can't put it together, but then he goes to the ESGN TV and, like, lights everybody up.
Right. But see, that's
a different story, though.
Right, but the thing about it is that's always those situations, right? Like, there's always those players who are super good in every situation except for the actual tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, he does really well in Europe, and he always gets first and second place out there. But, like, at the Capcom Cup, I just didn't feel like he did that well.
He didn't do that well.
He went 0-2, right?
He did not do that well.
Yeah, so K-Brad has been in a tournament. He beat WoW. He beat Infiltration. He beat all sorts of good players right now. So, I don't know. It's hard to argue against him right now.
Yeah. I guess that's fair enough. Yeah. I would say also the fact that Jace totally could have gotten into grand finals.
Oh,
he was like right there. He was so close.
Dude.
That guy is gonna win a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
In his tournament lifetime, he's a really talented player.
If he keeps at it.
Of course. If he wants to, then he will.
Yeah.
Because he's really, really talented. But he screwed up this time, and that's kind of stuff that, you kind of have to get through if you're a tournament player.
Right,
it's gonna happen at the start. Not that you just started, but before you really get on top of everything, you have these difficulties to get through. That's how it often goes. So there's that. There's also the fact that I really, really didn't think that WoW was going to get top 3, and I bet money to that effect.
Dude,
even though he started out winner's side of top 8, and he needed to win one game to make top 3.
Dude, you have, like, James Chen betting luck. Every time we're doing... I haven't seen you win a bet while we're doing commentary yet.
It's been a while, hasn't it? While we're doing commentary.
Yeah,
that's true.
At Capcom Cup,
that's true.
You were like 0-4 for whatever
you
were betting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That sucks because when I'm not on commentary, I'm usually really good.
Maybe you shouldn't bet while we commentate then.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Like the commentator gods are like, we want to see how David will react as he's losing money on stream.
At EVO, where I haven't done top 8 commentary for SF4 in a while, I make a lot of money on side bets in that one. I clean up there. Maybe it's just that there's like, I don't know. Maybe I know all those players better. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I was really hoping that Snake Eyes would do a little bit better, but he did well, so it's hard to criticize him too much.
Right.
And it's always cool to see Iperus Fuerte in top 8.
Yeah, I mean, we said it that, when he lost to Snake Eyes, we were both happy because we're SoCal guys and Snake Eyes is the best, right? But at the same time, we were sad because we like seeing El Fuertes do well. For sure. I want to see an El Fuerte just like get to grand finals one of these days. And Iperu is probably one of the likeliest people to do that at this point.
I feel like his best has been losers finals. I think he got 3rd place.
Yeah. He got losers finals.
And he lost to both Ricky and Justin, if I recall correctly.
Was it?
I think
so. There was a Northwest major. Didn't he make like 3rd or
I don't remember where that was, to be honest.
Okay.
While we're talking about SF4, maybe the hypest moment of the whole weekend was in the NorCal versus SoCal 5v5.
Yes.
Which opened up with a complete based by NorCal. They won 4 straight, and it was really convincing. I mean, they weren't like fluke wins. They were wins.
Especially in the PR Rod Kino one, we were like, oh look, Kino's doing well. Yeah. All the names were backwards.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, basically. And everything looked very, very bleak, and the SoCal players were all visibly kind of out of it and upset. And then Snake Eyes sat down to play, and he just lit everybody up.
Yeah.
The stars aligned.
I'm not a betting man, but once it got to only Snake Eyes, I think I would have probably been willing to go up to someone and be like, I'll bet $20 on like a 5-to-1 odds kind of thing. Like, hey, I bet you Snake Eyes will take the whole thing and just bet $20. Because if I lose, I lose. So if I win 100, right? Dude, I saw.
I'm sure bets like that were happening.
Oh yeah, and the best was that Chris Seglia actually tweeted, he's like, "I'm so glad I didn't go to SoCal because I would have lost so much money on that."
Yeah, it was Waseda style. So Ricky Ortiz beat Filipino Man. Then El Cubano Loco beat Chris. Huda Man beat Marcus. And then PR Rog beat Kino. And then Snake Eyes beat LPN Cammy 2-1. Then he beat PR Rog pretty convincingly 2-0. And at this point, we were talking about like which player should go up.
Right, right.
And PR Rog has done well against him in the past. And so he went up first, which is fine. But then they really should have put up Huda Man next. Because his character does the best against Zangief of all of those characters. And he had been playing really well. And they didn't. They put up Ricky Ortiz, and he got beat, including the ridiculous
the most
jump back.
Ridiculous.
Jump back ultra.
I mean, he had 0 life for, like, he had to make 3 the most ridiculous. I mean, he basically had no life. Got hit out of the air by an EX Messiah, which didn't kill him.
Right.
Then somehow EX Green Hand beat EX Messiah. Okay. Yeah. And then that epic back jump, dude, was just like the most amazing thing. And the best thing about it is as soon as you see it land, you can see the crowd. And like Snake Eyes is already just cracking up. Like he's just laughing because he's having such a good time. Yeah.
And then El Cubano Loco went up and he lost 2-0. And then it was down to Huda Man. And he did do the best of any of them, as I thought he might. But Snake Eyes was really smart about how he played it. He saved a few of his techniques until the last round.
Yep.
The EX hand to beat neutral jumps, which is not like some new technique. I was doing that like 5 years ago, but he didn't do it in the first 2 games, and that means that meant that Huda Man wasn't looking for it.
Right.
From Huda Man's perspective, that was not a tool in Snake Eyes' arsenal.
He did it twice in a row to Huda Man. I mean, that
in the
tells
final
you
round.
And that tells you something because he neutral jumped, he hit him out of the air. But it still didn't register to him that he just did it again, and then he got hit out of the air, and so all of a sudden he had that life lead.
Right.
But then Huda Man made a crazy comeback with the hand slap super combo.
He did.
And then he went for Ocho. He went for Ocho, meaty Ocho. I'm pretty sure.
If he had, then that probably not, because that's unthrowable during its active frames.
Okay.
And
I just think he did it too slow.
Maybe he did. Maybe he just screwed up the timing.
It too slow. Yeah.
So.
I just honestly think he did it too.
Maybe so. But in any case, it was Wake Up SPD from Snake Eyes, and that sealed it, and everybody went nuts, and you and I were literally jumping, jumping up and down.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes is the best.
Yeah, he's definitely the best.
He is literally the best.
Talk about Ultra later. Marvel 3. So Apology Man took this. It's his first major in Ultimate Marvel 3. First also tournament win for Firebrand. I think first for Scroll too.
Oh yeah, that would sound about right, to be honest with you. So as
far as I know, anyway. And he beat F Champ, who had the normal teams he plays. Magdorm Doom.
Killer Kai got third place. I'm sorry. Third place.
Yeah, he did, and obviously that's who we were rooting for.
Yeah, he got to winners finals too.
Yeah, and then he lost 2 straight sets. Which was
he did really good because he went down 0-2 against Apology Man, then tied it up 2-2. So he played really strong. I was super happy for Killer Kai. Obviously, he was disappointed. He wanted to do even better than that. But
I mean, he's the kind of guy who unless he wins it, he is not happy with himself. He's not going to give himself props or accolades for getting third place. But he did do really well regardless. The top 2 were NorCal. It was in SoCal Regionals. What are you gonna do? Then Flux was 4th place. Cloud 805 was 5th place.
Tied with Ray Ray.
Tied with Ray Ray. That's right. And Chris Schmidt, 7th place, and Neokarsh, 7th place.
Neokarsh from Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican, yeah. Cloud and Flux's matchup was awesome, I thought. My feelings on Marvel I've been like more willing to put them out in the open lately. I usually don't like it, but there were some matches that were played at SCR that I actually really liked the neutral game in. I thought they were really interesting and very pretty, and the movement was so cool, and that was one of them. I really enjoyed, even though it was a 0-0 matchup.
But that's kind of what made it interesting, though, right? Because
Yeah.
both of them have such dominating control over the entire screen.
Right.
Just based on, like, lightning zip this way, lightning buster, whatever, right? So it's just like they have so much control that it was really cool to see how they had to avoid each other.
I thought it was a really cool matchup, I have to say. I would be happy to see more of that kind of thing in the future. Ninth place was Angelic, then Unknown, K-Beast, Mini Boss. 13th were Viscant, GC Yoshi, Akbar, and Paradigm.
Yeah, shoutouts to Mini Boss, by the way. He made it into semifinals in winner's side bracket.
Okay.
And, man, the pressure on that guy, you could just see it on his face. Because this was the first time he had ever been in a situation like that. And people were chanting his name and, like, going crazy for him. And you could just tell he was just, like, nervous. Like, you could see it. And you know what? The only way you're going to get better in those situations is to keep getting into them.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll overcome the fear, so... Yeah.
Chris G doesn't show up because he, like, what was the story? Like, he showed up late or something?
He showed up 2 hours late. He got DQ'd. Eventually got put back into the loser's side of some tournament. And then he eventually lost the hitbox buttons.
Of, I believe, Apology Man's pool, because I remember him getting particularly mad about it.
Yeah.
I think it was Apology Man's pool.
Yeah, it was Apologies Man. But I don't know if he was put back in the losers of that pool or another pool. I'm not 100% sure.
I think he was.
He was? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Hitbox Buttons eventually eliminated him. There was some stuff about him getting DQ'd out of the game because of the fire alarm or whatever like that.
He got DQ'd out of it?
Yeah, that's what I heard rumors about that, but I'm pretty sure he lost the Hitbox Buttons.
Was he, like, playing at the time or something?
I think someone told me that's who he lost to, but then I saw tweets from him like he got DQ'd because of the fire alarm or something, and I'm not sure.
Whatever.
Not sure.
I don't know. He showed up late. It's all not too relevant from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as a result, I actually kind of liked watching Marvel this time.
But you like watching Chris G's more again, right?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to link those two.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
No, you're right.
Okay.
I really like watching Chris G play. No, just I guess I was talking more about Flux and Cloud 805.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The fact that Killer Kai did well and Firebrand won, and
even you mentioned on Twitter earlier today and got me to start watching it. That first to 15 set between Filipino Champ and Cloud 805. Like some matches. 4 characters would die without like combos.
Right,
it was all little chips and pokes and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really cool.
I really recommend that if you have any interest in it that you watch because it was really cool.
Right.
It was a very interesting match.
Yeah.
Which apparently Cloud won. He got to 15 first.
It was 15 to 14. Yeah.
But apparently you had to win by 2.
And so Filipino Champ won 18 to 16 in the end.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that rule until the end, all of a sudden, so, you know.
Filipino Champ is one of the best players when it comes to the metagame.
Yes.
Like, literally the metagame. The game that's outside the game.
Yes.
You know, screwing with the other opponent, setting the ground rules, or resetting the ground rules. He's so good at doing that. I have a lot of respect for him when it comes to that. That was Marvel. What else happened? I did not watch any Melee.
I didn't get a chance to watch any Melee. I saw the very end of it, but had a huge presence there.
There were lots of people.
Yeah,
there was a big crowd. It had a lot of noise.
It was really cool.
Yeah. West Balls won. I can't talk too much about it. I'm sorry. But all the results are on Shoryuken. I also didn't see Killer Instinct. Did you see Killer Instinct?
I did not see it, but I heard a lot. I talked to Grims about it.
Who won it? First place was Grimm. Second place, Chris G. Third was Draman Kuritani. Then Big Robot. Then Steve Sejam, who got 5th place. Also 5th place was PR Rog. Then Godspeed and Maximilian tied for 7th.
Yep. And Grims, I talked about it. He loves the game. He was an excellent Ryu player in the Street Fighter 4 days, right? And so he just basically said the way he plays Jago is very similar. He uses a lot of the same mind games, a lot of the same reads and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so from what I heard, it sounded like he actually won pretty convincingly. I don't know how he did against Chris G.
There's a match log here. He won winners finals against Chris 3-2, and then grand finals against Chris 3-1.
Yeah, I can imagine Chris did really good. Chris, of course, was in the tournament because Justin gave him his spot.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
that Justin felt bad because Chris got DQ'd for everything, and so Justin gave him his Killer Instinct spot.
Chris showed up late, and Justin felt bad for him that he was DQ'd.
Yeah.
He's seriously such a nice guy.
Justin, I mean, you know, a lot of people
He's
were
so
mad at
nice.
us already for saying nice things about Justin and Ricky earlier, because they always say we're biased towards him or whatever like that. But seriously, Justin is like the nicest guy.
He's my friend. Like, I'm
yeah,
gonna be biased.
I know. He's a
but
great
part of why
guy.
he's my friend is because he's so nice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I wouldn't hang out with him if he sucked.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah.
Injustice, I did top 8 commentary for that, so I do know what happened in that one. Emperor Theo won. He played Aquaman. DJT.
Oh, before we get into that, we should probably also mention there was the 5v5 with NorCal versus the Runback, which did turn out to be a 5-0 slaughter domination.
Yeah, that was not good. And there was also, you know, so not only did they all play better at NorCal side, but they also got the matchups that they wanted to. Like, almost all those matchups were exactly what NorCal wanted.
Right,
Again, they played the metagame.
Yeah,
Filipino champ is so good at that.
Well, dude, I will say this, Team Runback 100% screwed up when it was down to Justin and Paradigm versus Neo and Filipino champ. Neo was going fourth. You know he was going fourth,
Yeah,
right?
well, because Filipino champ was the anchor.
Right, and Neo owns Paradigm's soul.
Yes.
So you put Justin second, and Justin has beat Neo every time,
Yes.
right? Justin kind of owns Neo's soul, right? So if you put him fourth, he would have beat Neo. Paradigm would have won against Champ, and Paradigm's done random things before because he's got Haggard.
He could have won. It's not impossible.
He could have won, probably not, but
Yeah.
you would have still had a better chance of Justin now fighting everybody. Because they probably would have did the same thing, left Champ at the end and let everyone... But see, that was perfect. That would be a perfect argument of why what they did with Huda Man was wrong. Is that they put him at the end and then he had all the pressure to
Right,
win,
yeah.
right? So if they did all that and then it did get to the end where it was Justin and Champ at the end, then Champ would have all this pressure and stuff. But to be honest with you, I don't even know if Justin would have got past PR Rog because that one's a really, really tough match for Justin. So
Well, NorCal blew us up, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Theo won, DJT second, Forever King third, Wonder Chef got fourth, Nubcakes, Batman, White Boy, Doomsday also fifth, and tied for seventh was Steve, who made 2 top 8s.
Yeah, Killer Instinct and Injustice.
Yes,
So
he's become a good
congratulations to
player
him.
for sure.
Yeah.
King Hippo with Deathstroke rounded out the top 8. I really liked it. There was some play that I don't get to see very often. You don't see Deathstroke too often. It's basically him and Slips, and I like that he plays kind of an offensive style with that character. It was cool to see. Theo was the best. He was the best player of anybody who was there. His spacing was the best. His little mix-ups and understanding of the pace were the best. So he definitely deserved that win, and it's his first major, and his reaction to it.
Yeah, that was my favorite story where you were telling me about that.
Yeah, he didn't, like, if you saw Apology Man win, you saw him like get up and he was like you know. Theo like slumped he literally went like he went from playing to being like just like these big old wide eyes, like just completely like what?
Yeah.
And then once he finally realized that, you know, what happened, he got up and he was shaking everybody's hand and stuff. But then we saw him later, a few hours later, and he's just kind of walking around like starry-eyed, not talking to anybody, just smiling to himself.
That's so awesome, dude. That's
It was
so
pretty
awesome.
great. It was pretty
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
I also didn't see any KOF.
I didn't see, but Reynolds did not win. Whoa.
Yeah, Gibby talked to me about that a little bit. He said that Reynolds was just kind of screwing around and like couldn't like stop himself from screwing around.
Oh, basically what he did, like, because that's what they always say why he loses tournaments, because he does that and he tries to style and stuff like that. And they were saying that's why his Evo win was so impressive to them, because he stopped doing that and was able to win 6 in a row. Yeah. So
apparently he did it again. I did watch a bunch of Blaze Blue though. That's actually I think why I didn't watch Smash, because I think that was going on at the same time.
Oh, right.
So I was watching Blaze
Okay.
Blue. Payne won it with Kokonoi, Breaker Dave with Rachel, 2 Gigabyte combo with Relius, Huey 253 with Tao, The Dawn with Lychee, Jonah with Valkenhayn, Apology Man with Hawkman, and Sev with Kokonoi. Grand Finals was funny. I mean, it kind of sucked because, you know, I was rooting for Breaker Dave because he's SoCal and also not Kokonoi.
Right.
Like he got just lit up by Kokonoi stuff sometimes. Like he was
yeah.
playing fine, and then all of a sudden, like Kokonoi has this 8 or 9K combo, and
but what was the
like,
story
can't get out
on
of it.
that, on the finishing combo?
Well, I don't know if it was just at the finishing combo, but apparently he put out a tweet today, and it was corroborated by my good buddy who apparently is asleep now.
Yeah, she's asleep right now. So.
That Mori, the guy, like the Blaze Blue dude from Japan, he came to SoCal Regionals, and Breaker Dave apparently looked over him as he was getting lit up by Kokonoi, and Mori's just laughing, just found it amusing. Like
that's so funny that my completely broken design character
Yeah.
is destroying you
Yeah.
and you can't burst.
It's ridiculous.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty funny, but it's also just like what?
Yeah, but you know what? It's not gonna be like that for much longer, hopefully. So yeah.
Hopefully true. Hopefully true. I think those are all the games that I saw. So I don't think I can really
Yeah, I can't
talk about anything else.
Yeah,
Eris apparently won Soul Calibur 2.
I heard that was really
Sweet.
exciting actually because I don't know if it's P-Shen or someone from Japan came out, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I saw Eris, I believe, retweeted him, and he basically said that he had a blast, that he super enjoyed it, and
Awesome.
if SE2 comes back, then he'll come back next year. So
Let's see. Sev won Skullgirls. Cross Tekken was an infiltration blow up as always.
yeah, I heard Knuckle do. He basically said he got into grand finals with Infiltration and got blown up. You know, he got revenge
Yeah.
in top 32 of Street Fighter 4. He put Infiltration in the
That's true.
losers. But,
Yeah, Infiltration did not lose a game in top 8.
yeah. I mean,
So.
I told Knuckle do, when it comes to Cross Tekken, if Infiltration there, it's a race for second place. It's just the way it works.
Divekick, the Baz won. Gunther the Perilous.
Yes.
Showed up specifically for Divekick. He didn't play anything else. That was the game he came to play, and he won it with the Baz, which is like bizarre.
I mean, frankly, you got to imagine Adelheid Stark, who got second place with S-Kill, and Parry the Lightning, we do know, who showed up only for dive kick.
Used 2 of the top 3 only for Divekick.
I mean, Adelheid Stark probably was there mostly for dive kick as well, right? I mean, she probably
played Marvel,
She
I
did
imagine,
play.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she played it, but let's face it, she was probably there specifically, mostly for dive kick, right? So.
Well, she got second place. Apparently, she was really mad that she lost. But she said that that Gunther the Perilous had the Baz setups and like tech that she hadn't really seen before.
She said by the time she figured out what he was doing, it was too late already.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is what she said to me was like, you look at it and it was the Baz S-Kill, and she's like, yeah, it probably means that those were the 2 characters that shouldn't have been there in the first place, and guess what? They're the 2 getting the most altered in Edition, which by the way is the most beautiful name.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit, but that is the
yeah.
most clever name.
Yeah.
I thought that there was going to be a Markman in the top 8, and there wasn't. There wasn't. I would have bet on that character to be in top 8, but instead there was Kick, the Baz, Redacted, Kung Pao, Stream,
dude.
Kenny.
Good job to Liga getting in there with Redacted.
Afro Legends won ST. Damned I got second. DGV, Papercut, rounding out the top 4.
Papercut apparently put Damn Die in the
That's
losers.
right.
And then El Trouble, who we had on here with his awesome Dalsum, apparently was going to beat Damn Die and just choked it
Screwed
up
up.
in there.
Oh, yeah.
I know you're in here, El Trouble, so Eugene, I know you're
That
here,
sucks.
but
And then Justin blew up Chaos in that Marvel 2 exhibition.
Yeah.
It was a domination that everybody saw coming.
yep. Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, the only bets that I heard of were odds bets.
Yeah,
Nobody.
yeah.
Well, I heard about one guy who bet straight up with, I forget who was telling me about it now, but apparently the guy who was telling me said he showed up late and he wanted to take a bet. And one guy was like, I guess I'll do it. Like, I want you to be involved.
Yeah.
And obviously, Justin won. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I don't know why anybody would ever think they could get to a point where they can beat Justin in Marvel 2. It's just
It's pretty nuts.
Sanford Kelly, Yipes. Those are the guys right there who can do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know anything about Gundam. It's a cool game to watch, but I don't really have any info about that. So that's at CR.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about there?
Super awesome tournament. Like I said, I'm glad that they tried to set. They had credits they played at the end of every
Yeah,
night.
that's right.
You know, I mean, their production is getting really good, and you know, there's always been talks about like, oh, we don't want to go esports or whatever like that. You know, and everyone knows that I've always been kind of opposed to that. I mean, I should clarify that. I don't mind us going professional and having good production values. I just want to do it on our own. And that's why I'm so happy with what Level Up does, is that they do that. You know, they are trying to, every year they keep trying to up the ante, and it's really cool for me to see that. So,
I agree. It's definitely one of the majors that I look forward to most.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's take a break then. Talk about actually some more stuff that happened there, although kind of tangentially, I suppose. Talk about Ultra Street Fighter 4. We'll talk about
of course.
the Edition Select that was announced at SCR.
All right, be right back.